Hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Taylor Coaching. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This is day 4 of the podcast, and we are looking at the second half of Matthew 2. This is a story that very much picks up where yesterday's story left off. It is amazing. I said this yesterday. It is amazing that God sent a star as a beacon for the wise men, and how this star moved. I think it's just so cool. But just as amazing as the movement of the star, I find the stopping of the star even more amazing. Obviously, it stopped at Jesus, but besides that, it also stopped at Herod's doorstep. And this is very much on purpose, and I love it so much. So why don't we go ahead and dig into Matthew 2. We're going to start at verse 13. Now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, Rise, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him. And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt, and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet, Out of Egypt I called my son. That particular prophecy comes from Hosea 11:1. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old or under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. That particular prophecy comes from Jeremiah 31:15. But when Herod died, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Rise, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead. And he rose and took the child and his mother, and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in the place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And being warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee. And he went and lived in a city called Nazareth, so that what was spoken by the prophets might be fulfilled, that he would be called a Nazarene. And gosh, there's a lot of ascertaining that's happening here. Herod is doing that today in this section, and he did it in yesterday's section. It's a very particular word. It's definitely a word that I should use more often. I would sound just so intelligent if I just dropped it into casual conversation. So I will definitely try to make that part of my vocabulary. The word ascertain means to find out something for certain, or to go on a hunt for truth. And this is something that Herod is desperate to do. He's done a lot of ascertaining and is panicked. Remember yesterday how he gathered the chief priests and the scribes, and he's trying to get information out of the wise men, but the wise men duped him, and he is trying to figure out all the specifics he can about who this new king is. The reason that star stopped at Herod's doorstep was God was putting Herod on notice that there is a new king, that there is a true king. And this terrifies Herod, understandably so. He is so over the top about this whole thing, trying to figure out who this kid is. And when he can't figure it out exactly, he just goes ahead and kills all the male kids that are 2 years or younger. That's not a popular decision for a king to do. And yet his desperation to not let this new king have any sense of kingdom or reigning is over the top. So I think that that's amazing. And what I really land with on this is that Jesus interrupted a lot. Like his birth interrupted things. Obviously with the wise men, he interrupted their lives and their plans, and they traveled a great distance to be able to get to him. And it was an interruption that was filled with joy. But for Herod, it was an interruption that was based on fear. He interrupted him, and Herod's response was nothing but fear. And so today I ascertained that you've been interrupted by Jesus. And I guess I just want to ask, by being interrupted by Jesus, did you respond with joy or did you respond with fear? And with that, my time is up. Thank you for watching or listening. Tomorrow we are on to Matthew 3 and John the Baptist. So I look forward to seeing you then. See ya.